Club of Jackson for the Sanderson Farms Championship. We're pleased to welcome now Mr. Steve Jent, the Executive Director of the Sanderson Farms Championship. Steve, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, too.
Looks like the weather is going to cooperate nicely. A little showers move through, a little cloudy and cooler today, but the course looks beautiful, and the players are out there. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, we had a little more than maybe what we thought early this morning, but it wasn't enough to delay play.
Yeah.
The sun's going to pop out here probably in about an hour.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to be 84 today, but I guess that's the front comes through. It's going to gradually tail off, 50s in the morning.
A little cooler.
It's going to be, it's gonna be nice.
Players like that, though.
Yeah, I think they'll look forward to it. I mean, some of them may need to pop into, a local store and pick up a little outerwear maybe that they weren't expected. But, yeah, they like it. I think it's, that crisp air and getting going. And,
yeah,
I mean, they'd rather play in that than, windy, unpredictable conditions.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
It'll be good out here.
Yeah. So, did the rain impact the surfaces any, Steve? Are we looking at lift, clean in place, embedded balls, any of that kind of stuff?
No, not really. I mean, Stanley Reading, everybody's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
With the fairways, especially over the last few years. The greens have always been good. It's really good. The wind this afternoon should really help. And, the guys coming off the golf course yesterday were saying, man, these things are fast.
Yeah,
so
that's what I've heard.
I don't think it changed it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so yesterday, let's see, we had Hadley, right, played bogey-free, 8 under.
Chesson
Hadley, right, 64, and was the leader going into today. But just looking at the leaderboard, Eric Van Rooyen is presently 10 under. That's through 11. He's 5 under on the day through 11. That's a bunch of birdies in 11 holes.
Yeah, and no bogeys.
Right.
It's like every other hole's a birdie. And, playing, obviously playing really well. Harrison and Endicott next. And some
Luke
great names up there. The guys that played well yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning haven't gone off yet. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking to be a really, really good board for the weekend. Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
So you said the players were remarking on the greens and the speed of the greens, the quality of the greens. Anything else they're telling you about the event?
I mean, they love the hospitality. They just love being here. I mean, a lot of them, Jackson's a simple stop, right?
Yeah.
We have great hotels. We've got great restaurants.
Yep.
The proximity to everything is really good. The setup that we have here is really, caddies get a permanent structure right here. Overlook, everything is here. Practice range is pretty great. The food is really, CCJ does a great job with food for them, and they just think it's one of their favorite stops of the year. And definitely in the fall, but maybe the entire year. So, yeah, they love it.
And it's a big venue, Steve. Sometimes on these PGA events, some of these smaller private clubs, it can be a little crowded, but we got a big spread out area.
We've got a lot of square footage here to use, and as a charity, that's really important, right?
Yeah.
Because if I can, if I don't have to build a caddy lounge and I can utilize this.
Yeah.
And the other thing, Jason Prendergast takes his fixtures out of here, which is his pro shop the rest of the year. We can use those in the merchandise tent. So we utilize every square inch. The fact that there's the extra Cypress 9 allows us to do a couple things. It allows us to do a really good kids clinic on Monday with the first tee. Allows us to do a junior pro-am out here and not tie up space on the big course. Because with us in the fall with daylight, I just don't have Tuesday. The guys that aren't in the pro-am really need Tuesday to play a full 18. So to be able to have all this to access is really good.
And for the folks listening, if you haven't or you're not familiar with the Country Club of Jackson, there are 3 nines. At the course, so that's what you're talking about with the Cypress 9. So something, Steve, that we need to make sure that folks are aware of, which is that the PGA does incredible work for charities,
right.
and here in associated with this event, Century Club Charities been around a long time. Philip Carpenter, the current president of Century Club Charities, he's coming on the program later. But you guys raise a lot of money for really good causes.
We do, and that really drives everything for us, right? I mean, a lot of tournaments bring in big concerts and do a lot of things, and we do a little bit of that. Last night's sponsor party was really good. It was packed. I saw a lot of people there. It's the focus number one when I look at my P&L at the end of the year is how can we generate more money than the year before, or at least try to match it last year for charity. And primary charity is Children's of Mississippi, the hospital, but we're giving $400,000 out to about
Incredible.
50 plus other Mississippi charities, like, Stew Pot and First Tee and Mustard Seed and Canopy. Just
all great.
Really solid, Mississippi's Toughest Kids and Magnolia Speech School. Just solid charities that, they may not getting $1.1 million, but $15,000, $10,000, $5,000, a lot of these charities is a big number.
Absolutely. And the players are aware of this, and they participate in that and promote that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do University Spirit Day tomorrow, so we've told the players ahead of time and the guys ahead of time, support your college team. We tell spectators to come out and wear their favorite college apparel. And then Sunday we do a Play Yellow for kids.
Okay.
Which is yellow is the Play Yellow, the Jack and Barbara Nicholas.
Right.
The Children's of Mississippi is a Children's Miracle Network hospital, part of that network. And Jack and Barbara are fond of that. And so his deal was the yellow shirt on Sunday. So on Sunday we'll do Play Yellow. So we encourage the players to wear some kind of yellow apparel. Our T announcers have on yellow ties, and we've got yellow ribbons for fans. And so the players know the T markers are painted chickens from kids in the hospital. Yeah. They know how important charity is here.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Steve, working with the Country Club of Jackson, and of course to put on an event like this, a PGA tournament, you got to work with everybody. That is affiliated with the Country Club.
Yeah.
Club management, membership officers, of course, Stanley and his great crew that take care of the golf course, the club pros and assistants and so forth. It's a big team effort.
It is, and they're great. All right, Patrick Joyce's whole team, from food and beverage to the golf side to, Steve Boyd is the fitness instructor. He lets me take over his office in the fitness center for a week, and they're very supportive. And they utilize a lot of their staff in different areas. Like, again, Steve giving me my office, but he and Nick, the tennis pro, are my 2 locker room attendants, right, along with Frank. So, it's a big team effort. Everybody's got to be all in. Because it's 1 week of the year, but it's 51 weeks that everybody's got to plan and account for. But we bring in other vendors too, from concessions to shuttle buses to security. It's just what we spend in the local market to supplement what we can't, what the club just can't do.
Sure.
It's still a big number.
That's a good point.
It's a lot of planning.
Yeah, and then, of course, we should mention that a fantastic, fairly large group of volunteers that help out as well.
Awesome volunteers. In fact, I met a gentleman yesterday for the first time who comes from Quebec, Canada, every year just to volunteer at our event. And you can't, we've got a great volunteer force. It's over 1,000.
Unbelievable.
Hopefully they think I'm, feeding them really well this week. We kind of upgraded that a little bit last year. And, marshals, shot link operators, shuttle drivers. We've just got some great people out here. They're taking their vacation time. They're taking time off, for those that aren't retired that can't do this. And we also have the support of a lot of companies out here.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's talk about the sponsor support of Sanderson Farms, top of the list, of course.
So it starts with, you've got sponsors that also take responsibility for whole. They're like, hey, we're going to give you 50 people every day, right? But, it starts at the top with Wayne Sanderson Farms, great company. We've got 5 kind of what we call tournament partners that have spent in excess of into the 6-figure range. Bank Plus, Trustmark, International Paper, Southern Farm Bureau Life, and then Lyle Machinery is our newest one. Dan Lyle and his group came in and were our Monday Pro-Am sponsor. Yeah. But then you've got a lot of other sponsors, right? Skybox sponsors, signage sponsors, Pro-Am teams. We'll raise hopefully about another $5 million or close to it. And you just can't do it without them, right?
Steve, it's something that you don't think about a lot, but just listening to you go through the list, we've talked about all the parties, all the participants, if you will. A PGA Tour event is one of the few sporting events that truly does touch such a broad spectrum of parties, individuals, companies, charities, the course, and just an unbelievable impact.
Yeah, and I've not spent I've never worked for the NFL or the NBA or whatever, but it may be more of a community effort than any other sport, right? Because the Saints don't have 1,000 people sign up and pay $65 for a hat and a shirt, and then work the chain gang. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we do, right? We've got people that come out here and run the scoring systems for the PGA Tour, and are actually paying to be here, not paid to be here, right? So
that's right.
But then when you talk about the support of, what other sport can you pay for you and 2 other of your best customers to go play their sport for 18 holes the day they're on the same, it's like signing up to play 5-on-5 with LeBron, the morning before a game. I don't know what other sport does it like we do it.
I totally agree. Well, I'll tell you, I did it for years with my customers, so it's pretty powerful.
It's pretty cool.
And it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Steve, appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on, once again, what is in store for us, another great Sanderson Farms Championship.
And we still got a couple days to go. Don't jinx me, but it's going to be a great year. Everybody come out.
Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yep, we're coming right back with more in the Element Wealth studio. We're at the Country Club of Jackson for the Sanderson Farms